no shade, not exactly a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And Vitality definitely is one of the teams that could benefit from a little bit of carry potential. So I see it as a worthwhile thing. It's just, it's kind of surprising. That it's like so early in the season. Like, if you're going to give someone else, I wonder, there's got to be something more to the story, like that we're just never going to hear. You know, like shit, like, oh well, he said he was going to take the time off, but then like, I don't know, like broke up with his girlfriend, so he's just like bored shitless or something like that. Like, there's always going to be something there, and I'm willing to bet this is no different.
Team Vitality, like right now, like with them switching out comp for Crownshot, like Crownshot is a pretty strong ADC because like he was really strong on SK Gaming, but he had to play with a really bad roster. Then it's like the situation where you have one shining player in a bad roster, and then people start noticing that. And then they wanted him to be on a starting roster for the LEC 2021 spring split, but he said he was taking it off. And then, like, a lot of players say that, though. They're going to take it off, but then immediately when a team contacts them for to start playing because they need them, they immediately stop what they're doing to play. So I think that the new addition of Crownshot over Comp is going to be interesting. Like, it is an upgrade, but they claim in their official press release that they needed a more bigger voice on the team, but they're still dedicated to comp.
Checks, though.
You know, I don't know.
I mean that checks though, because wasn't Crownshot on Gen G before this?
Gen G streaming, yeah.
And what before that, wasn't it like, okay, I'm just gonna pull it up, but I'm pretty sure he was like SK Gaming and SK Prime and stuff. So like the dude's got experience, so that kind of checks out. But at the same time, like, I mean, it's EU. Is anyone going to beat G2? No. So everyone's just competing for second, like Fnatic's place, like second, or
and Fnatic pretty much has had that on lock since like 2019.
Although I guess with how shit they're looking right now, like,
you don't think they look that good?
People are.
They look.
They definitely haven't gelled yet. Like compared to Rogues looks fucking crazy good right now, but they're also like, the thing about Rogues is I feel like they're hitting like their peak right now. Like I think that so I feel like the other teams are gonna like scale up around them, and they're just gonna be like, oh shit,
they just fall apart.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree, Blue.
And now,
sorry, what was the other player that you talked about?
Magic Felix joins Astralis because Nuke Duck is taking some time off due to personal reasons. Which is interesting because Magic Felix was their hyped up Fnatic Academy mid laner that everyone wanted to get a shot, and then they gave the shot to Niski instead, and now he finally gets a starting roster spot for Astralis in the mid lane, which is interesting because did you guys really think Nuke Duck was that bad? When I was watching his gameplay, it didn't look terrible.
Like, no, I mean, he definitely wasn't like standout. It wasn't like,
I guess to leave.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet it's like family, like something happened to the family or something like that.
Because Nuke Duck always plays, even though he's been on some bad rosters, he's always played.
Oh so
I doubt it's like Tion where it was for mental health reasons.
Mental health, yeah, that checks out.
I hope not. I
don't think so.
It's weird because some League players have girlfriends even though they like sit inside the house all day. Bwippo? But it's like, I don't know. Hey, I had a girlfriend before, and I was like, she's not taking away my time from League of Legends, guys. It's like, priorities. League, girlfriend.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly it.
But, like, as Track said before, I don't really think the changes are going to make that big a deal. Like, Astralis and Vitality right now are currently tied for 9th place. So, this week, I think Vitality faced, like, Schalke. No, Astralis faced like Schalke and another strong team. Vitality faced like Excel and Astralis, I think. So, you know, or no, Excel and Misfits. Misfits are also not looking that good either. Misfits are like in 8th place. So,
yeah, which I kind of feel bad about because like Misfits does have a pretty good roster on paper, but they're just not gelling right now. That's the story of a lot of teams, to be honest. Actually, like across all. Like every single region, it just feels like a lot of big name teams and a lot of rosters that people are like, yeah, on paper this is amazing, are just not really getting through. Prime example, actually, T1. Like, 10-man roster coming out, and everyone was like, oh man, this is going to be the year that they come back. And I mean, yeah, they do have some standout performances, but
hold up. This is the year they come back.
Oh my god.
Okay, to be fair, some people are saying that. I'm not saying that. Some people are saying that.
I'm saying that.
Oh my god. I was gonna say, like, even didn't Faker come out and say that the 10-man roster is not a good idea?
No. You already said he said he disagrees a lot with his coach. Apparently, a lot of the players, the veteran players, are disagreeing with a lot of the opinions of the head coach, which is not a good sign.
Yeah, I think it was also like 10-man rosters working concept, but I've never been a big fan of them because you can't, if it's one or two positions. Like, I feel like, you know, the 8-man rosters with like the jungle mid synergy switches, where you had like, I'm going back to C9 for this one, where you had Svenskeren and Niski, and then Svenskeren and Golden Glue and Niski and Blabber, where you had like this hyper aggro mid lane synergy, and then you had this slightly more tempered and more controlled aggression coming out from Svenskeren and Golden Glue, and it fucking caught teams off guard, like 100%. And so I can kind of mentally wrap my head around that. But trying to actually like have a secondary choice for every role, like, it just they're never going to get the playtime. This isn't hockey. You can't just swap out lines or swap out people from lines willy-nilly. Like, and even in hockey, you can't do that. Like,
yeah, like League is just not that game where you can have multiple different people getting subbed in and it make perfect sense. Because like when you sub in a guy in basketball, it's not like you're doing that much different from a certain position. In League, it's like it's a completely different take about subbing someone in, you know? So.
Yeah. And normally for like basketball or something, it's because, you know, you don't want to burn the person out, or you want to save them for a specific situation or something like that. Like, you don't want to just have like Kobe on the court for literally. You would love to have them on the court for the entire game, but, you know, sometimes if they're roughing them up or something like that, get them the fuck out there. Make sure you don't fuck them over for the rest of the season. That doesn't make sense in League. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but
because I don't remember it ever working though. Misfits tried it when they had that super team that failed. A lot of teams that have had those extra subs, at some point it doesn't work out because. Like, I know a lot of pro players go, yeah, we don't really get mad at each other for the starting spot. We always try to, you know, help each other out. That's a load of bullshit. That's a load of bullshit, man. Because they even said going to academy, your salary gets cut. So they definitely don't want to have their cut salary. Or even just that, you know, you're not a starter. And I'd imagine playing in fucking academy is terrible. Outside of, you know, well, not in the major other regions like LPL, LCK, and LEC. It's just the LCS that think this way. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Blue, can you think of an example of when like an 8-man or a 10-man roster actually like worked as advertised?
Well, not really. Usually how it turns out is one person plays better and they just put them on the main lineup.
Yeah.
And they just turn it into a main lineup.
Even with the RNG, remember?
That's what T1's goal is. That's what T1's goal is, apparently. They said they want to find which players work the best and then use that as a main lineup.
Weird.
Even with RNG, when they got Karsa, when Karsa performed at that All-Star event, RNG picked up Karsa, and people were like, "Well, who are the?" I was like, at some point, you're gonna choose between MLXG or Karsa. It's just gonna be that way. And then at one point, they just consistently ran with Karsa. I know MLXG had its own issues, but it was just like at a certain point, they just ran with Karsa. The same thing with Blank and Bangy. They just eventually ran with Blank after a while, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's too much problems to try and throw someone in. I get the concept. The person watches with the coach. They see what the other jungler does. And then you throw the other guy in with the added knowledge. But to be fair, people don't understand. Each game is so different that what that guy just saw might not apply to this composition. And you also have to factor in when you're going into a game, the players might be like, you know, mad they just lost. They're like, wait a minute, if I just won with this guy, then why is the other guy coming in? That makes no sense. I'm not even like understanding what this guy's pathing is. And that jungler coming in could have a completely different idea to how to play the game towards the other guy. So that's why I've never really been a fan of multiple subs in of team. Like maybe having one sub for a position you're kind of like shaky on, kind of like a Gen G right now. They have the jungle sub for Klid. You have Flawless because Klid has shown that sometimes he just doesn't really play with the team very well. You know, he doesn't have any synergy with BDD at all.
The only issue is that every game with Flawless was a loss.
Flawless losing. Yeah, that's exactly.
Slight calculation there.
It's like the opposite of Mortal Kombat. Flawless defeat.
But did you guys watch the G2 versus Fnatic game? That was the biggest highlight from the week. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So what'd you think about that?
Easily.
Oh god.
Blue, did you catch the
highlight?
Fuck yeah.
The random DCs, I love it. That sounds like my
by the way.
It sounds like my solo queue games, man.
Sorry, which?
What happened, Blue?
Sorry, which?
I was gonna say Whippo and Volibear, the only champion can play well.
Yeah, apparently. Like Jesus Christ, dude.
Something else though.
Oh, Blue, you turn yourself up.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, my mic was away from my mouth.
Oh yeah.
Lol.
You just don't want to talk to us, Blue. Yeah.
Shove it in your mouth, man.
Whippo, okay, Whippo's Volibear, that's what I said.
Whippo, yeah.
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 It's something else.
So my thing with Whippo is you have to kind of factor in, like, he could do literally no wrong in a lot of people's eyes because, how would I say this? Like, he could literally have a game where he runs it down, goes 0-10, and people would say, oh no, don't criticize him. He's just being aggressive and trying to get the team ahead. I mean, like I don't understand how a fan can think that. Where do you come at with that? You know? Like, I just don't get it, personally.
Like, Bweppo, I kind of understand. Like, this is supposed to be the season. We actually... Okay, so I heard this statistic while I was watching. I don't remember which region it was. But basically, they were saying that never before has top lane been in the top... Like, they were number one position for damage overall.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like across multiple regions. It wasn't just like NA or EU or anything like that. So top laners were having a huge fucking impact on the game and on the damage charts. And so I kind of understand the mentality of like, okay, you know, we gotta have a little bit more impact. We gotta, you know, try and be the playmakers and shit like that. But overall, like, yeah. Otherwise, if we watch other games, he's been looking kind of sus, kind of questionable, even more so than top laners that I was totally expecting to just fall on the wayside. Like, yeah, it's. I get people like are Fnatic fans and that they just want to, you know, hope for the team and everything like that. But it's when Dan is potentially a more consistent top laner, you got to start to question. You got to start to question these things. So,
well, my thing is that, like, you know, Fnatic and even just TSM fans, one of their players could play consistently bad for weeks on end, but they'll have like one standout game.
Oh, sorry.
Oh god.
Oh, sorry. I'm allergic to bullshit, man.
Like what?
Sorry.
No, you're fine. It was just like. It was just like the big orgs like T1, Fnatic, and TSM. Their players could consistently play dog shit throughout weeks, but they'll have like one standout game in a best of 1 or best of 3, and that trumps everything you've seen previously. I've seen the guy literally just lose so much these past 3 weeks. We're going 4 weeks now for the LEC 2021 Spring Split. I've not really seen him stand out at all. Everyone just consistently makes excuses for him. I don't know where this comes from. Like,
it kind of goes both ways, though, doesn't it? Because, like, frankly speaking, here, what's a good example? Let's just go through. There's Fudge. I guess Fudge is about the best example that I can think of off the top of my head, where people do the opposite, where, you know, he doesn't have these crazy fucking stand-up performances, and people just shit on him even when he's doing fine. Like, in the game versus TSM, anyone who watches that game is like, oh man, Fudge is such a weak link. Dude, Fudge was literally corralling and like controlling TSM in most of those team fights. His flanks were maybe not like all or nothing levels of like, if they didn't happen, the entire the TSM would have come back or anything like that. but they were instrumental enough that it ended up being that C9 just fucking walked all over TSM the entire game. And it goes both ways. Either you're a fucking superstar in people's eyes, or you're worse than trash. And it doesn't matter how many good performances or how many even just standard average performances. Like, yeah, it gets to the point where like I just tend to ignore people when they're like, "Oh my god, Weppo's the best top laner," and I'm like, "He's really not." And they're like, "Bush sucks," and I'm like, "No, he really doesn't." And yeah,
because like how would I say this though? Because this is gonna sound really really salty in some people's in their heads when they're fucking listening to this video at work.
Okay.
If I'm a good player and I mess up, but you're a bad player and you beat me, what does that mean though? Because you could clearly see
it means
I suck, right?
Well, no, because the 1v1 matters basically nothing. Like, yeah, you get a tempo advantage, you get a pressure advantage, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But we've seen so many teams someday who like absolutely stomp top lane, and then their team just basically shits the bed.
Yeah. Because Wonder in their game against Bwipo with G2 versus Fnatic, he was winning a lot of his trades. He was up in CS. Yeah. He just consistently missed.
Didn't he get first blood?
He missed hook shots off the wall, which were in front of him. And they messed up a dive. And they messed up a 2v1 dive. I was like, people were like, yeah, Bwipo's so good. It's like, come on, dude. Come on, man.
Dude, he got okay, to be fair, Camille is a fucking stupid champion. And honestly, if she's not permaban status, provided like they don't switch patches or something like that, if she's not on fucking permaban status next week, I have no fucking idea what the teams are thinking. She's just so fucking stupid. That aside, so Wonder was winning versus Bwipo in the 1v1, and like Fnatic ended up basically just pulling a Cloud9 and fucking camping top lane almost the rest of the game. And you know what? Honestly, it worked out totally 100%. But Wonder wasn't the reason they lost that game. Yeah. And Bwipo has been the reason Fnatic has lost a few games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, yeah, Wonder may not have performed as well against Bwipo in that situation, but frankly speaking, he still performed well enough that, you know, he wasn't the key reason for his team losing. I think, to be honest, it's really tough for me to say, because I never saw a moment where Bwipo was just like styling on Wonder in the same way that Wonder just G2's just it's hard to like rationalize or like put into words explaining exactly how much of a skill difference there really appears to be between some of these players. Mickey X and Wonder, if they, you know, were playing a little bit better, G2 would have flat out won. Well, but it took two of their players like just not showing up and being dog shit for Fnatic to take a game. What does that more say about Fnatic? The fact that they need G2 to basically be like operating at 2/5 or like 3/5 of their potential to take a game off them. Like,
well, the other thing I was going to bring up is that G2 have been kind of openly saying that Jankos has not been playing up to the potential yet, because like even just watching their videos and watching a lot of what they put on social media, they've been talking about Jankos' jungle pathing just being bad, and it's been bad. My dude is going to Raptors to fucking Dragon to get what? Oh, like what are they doing? Like,
which makes it really funny that he like for most of the game he was even, if not ahead of where Selfmade was, up in terms of applying pressure and everything. So it's like, Jesus. Like, if Jankos is underperforming and it's still at a level that he can keep up with Selfmade, like, yeah.
Also, you have to factor in for Fnatic, their playstyle is not really defined yet. I think that playing through Selfmade is their playstyle. Like, you have to get Selfmade ahead. It's like a more advanced team over Dignitas. Like, Dignitas tries to get Dark ahead, or Dark tries to get himself ahead. Selfmade tries to get himself ahead and be the big, giant super carry. But that only happens when the lanes set up Selfmade for success. You can't really do that if Whipple is consistently losing top lane or he has to pull up Selfmade to his lane all the time. Niski's actually looked a lot more better. I wanted to give Niski credit. He's been looking a whole lot better each week. He's gotten really more. He's definitely getting better with the better caliber of mid laners in EU, which is good. The same thing happened with Broken Blade. Broken Blade also is beginning a lot better being in EU. So that whole internet diff between G2 and Fnatic. Oh my god,
there almost wasn't a mid diff. Like Niski kept up on CS with his Zir versus Zoe, which is like hard skill matchup. So it's not like Caps was just dunking on him the entire time or just like had total pressure. No, he was able to he was able to control Caps enough that it wasn't the Caps show. So there's a lot of good things to take away from that game. It's just like, do I see it happening again? It purely depends if G2 actually,
They asked to make a remake, but Riot said no because it was the match of the week. I was like, that's cool, but they could just. What does that mean?
Wait, what was the remake for? Folly?
Because G2 were having internet issues. Like Yankos and Reckless DC'd. There were moments in the game where they tried to do something like synced up, but their internet connection was bad, so it wasn't able to go through. Like the one fight they had, I think, in Fnatic's their blue side of Fnatic's map. Because Fnatic was on blue side, right? Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're on blue side.
So NA gets the fucking Alienware trading facility with 300 upload, and G2's like in their founder's basement. Like, we gotta get the router, get the backup router.
The last thing I wanted to bring up for this match of the week between Fnatic and G2, I don't think this game will matter in the grand scheme of things. I personally think that, G2 did look pretty solid in this game. It wasn't like Fnatic just stopped them completely. Like, Upset and Hylissang, I thought that was going to be a pretty strong bot lane, but so far, Upset has been serviceable to good. Even he's not synergizing with Hylissang. I don't know who can synergize with Hylissang. Because this man...
Niski's been pretty good. Niski's been pretty good with, working... Granted, it's Niski. Like, Niski's used to fucking Blabber and Vulcan, who are, like, two of the most aggro players if you let them off their leashes. Like, so he's probably looking at Hylissang and Selfmade, and they're like, oh man, we're going to be aggressive. In the back of his head, he's like, guys, you're not doing dumb shit like tower diving at level 2. Like, this doesn't even come close to dumb bullshit. Like, what are you guys doing? So, no, I'm excited to see what happens, but I don't think G2's in any real trouble, not yet.
Yeah, I think Fnatic
if we see this versus Shulker or Rogues, then we have a conversation.
Oh my god. I just think Fnatic just need a defined playstyle of something. Like, diving randomly, just giving over kills, playing through Selfmade. I don't know if that's going to be what you need to win LEC, because there was the one game they had against Vitality or Mad Lions or Astralis. They just kept diving. I was like, this is so bad. Like, how is the team who's getting dove like that winning these dives and losing? That shows you that team that's getting dove and losing just is trash. Oh my god. But
what I really liked about what they did to G2 is they kind of made it a situation where they ended up like splitting off a lot of the times. There wasn't like every single time I saw the team fight, it seemed like they were basically sectioning off the individual members of the team and like breaking it apart. So it wasn't like G2 was ever really fighting as a cohesive whole, which frankly is, from what we've seen, their strong suit. So it was intelligent, but I don't think it was intentional. I think like the bit of miscommunication in the separate pages that some of the players are on, where it's like, we're gonna go left, and then another pair goes right. I think that actually kind of like played to their advantage, and G2 was like, shit, we got and they like sectioned themselves off, and it kind of played against them. So no, that was a fun game to watch. Like, fuck that. It was a bloodbath.
And now we are on to the best region in the world, the LCS. We finally started.
No.
The best blue. Blue, come on. This is the best region.
Can we jump to Korea first? Like, can we talk about like DRX and like
Yeah, sure.
T1 and
Alright, so-
Genji
Oh my
before
God.
we have to
You know?
before we have to cleanse our palates of
LCS. So
Brilliant.
it's really hard to kind of judge some of these Korean teams because when I look at a lot of their games, I don't know if these people are straight up just phoning it in half these series or if they're even
Game
trying.
of Thrones. It's the final
Game of Thrones.
Like
Like T1 beat Bro this week. All their fans are going, "Yeah, we beat Bro." It's like, dude, that team is trash. They're over here playing fucking bro. They have Umpty in the jungle. If you're playing Umpty at this point, you just like if that's an accomplishment beating Umpty, you suck. Like I don't know, and they haven't really looked. They've looked interesting. It's like the players on T1 are really solid, but they're having this weird 10-man roster coaching issue, swapping players in, swapping players out. What's that new top laner they have? Zeus? That his name?
Zeus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, he's actually pretty strong. I think they should keep him over Kana. So I would go with Zeus, Elim, Faker, Closer, Gumayashi, Teddy, and Kiria. There you go.
You want let's throw 2 mid laners in there.
Yeah.
Closer and Faker. That's a pretty solid
I think looks so good as well. Like
he does.
They have like best mid laner and best ADC on their backup roster.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Closer mechanically looks better than Faker right now. Faker definitely has better mid game understanding, and you can see that the team rotates and macro and has a better macro understanding.
I don't know what they're doing in mid to late game.
They really don't.
They're like they used to be the mid to late game kings, and now they're like the early game kings, and then they're just all falls apart.
But like as soon as Faker subs in, it's like they have a little bit better of an idea.
It's better.
Yeah,
it's still nothing like it used
to be. Still not. No. Yeah. I want to talk about DWG because holy shit! Oh my god!
Damn water just.
I thought Phoenix were speedrunning games, and then I saw DWG, and it's like there's almost
his best bro though.
it's legitimately scary. I can't see like any game that they've lost so far has been like somehow the team stopped the snowball, but once the snowball starts, it's like the other teams have no idea what to do, and I don't have any idea what to do. It's fucking terrifying.
Damwon have looked really strong, but to be fair, Dragon X have also surprised a lot of people too. They're like, wait.
Yeah, Dragon X is like, what the fuck is going on? How are they winning? It doesn't make sense. None of these players have played in the LCK before. What's going on?
To be fair, it's not like, okay, so LCK does have a history of like finding these solo queue monsters and like meshing them into the team.
It's not even that. It was literally the DRX Academy roster from last year because DRX lost so much money last year after they just lost like Chovy and that. So they were like, oh shit, we can't be bothered to fly in players. Let's just move our academy roster to main lineup. And it's like, and we also lost our head coach. And it's like, wait a minute, they're winning? What? What is going on? This wasn't supposed to happen.
We were supposed to be competing for bottom of the table. God damn it, guys.
What did you do, guys? Why do we have to
you have to lose more. Come on.
Yeah, like, what the hell's going on?
Because I remember last year they wanted to play a completely different roster at a certain point. They had all those issues. I was like, what is going on here? Like, they have Cheft and Cheft. They have Chovy and Deft. And they just couldn't win anything. And then you come up with this new roster now, and they actually look really solid. Like they've looked pretty solid. It's just
the fact that DRX is ahead of T1 and K2 Rollster right now is just like,
dude. KT Rollster have Doran. Doran's actually styling on people. What is life? What is this? No, he's supposed to be trash.
Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense.
It really doesn't.
Right now.
Is that the LCK just being trash? There's no way.
Dude, the LCK is like the most min-maxed region of all time. Like their lowest is like the lowest you can find, and their highest is the highest you can find. And it's just like figuring out the best balance between that. It's like on one end you got Faker, on the other end you got I don't even.
You have
fucking
fucking Keen on a freak
Oh,
of
Keen.
freaks.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keen.
Keen is over here on a freak of freaks, mechanically a god, and just wasting his whole life on this bottom tier shit organization, playing with fucking washed up Bang. And
Oh god,
I
dude.
don't. That
Bang.
picked up something else. That
Oh,
I honestly expected more of him, and I put a freak higher than they should have been. But
no, Blue. What? Do you have a shrine
I don't
of
blame
Faker
you.
outside? Blue has straight up a shrine of Faker outside his house. He prays to it every day.
no. Yeah, go for it.
I was gonna no, like with players like Keen and that, you think a freak could just do better than they did, but they can't.
No, 100%.
It has to be
Like-
in coaching staff because they always
Yeah.
have this. This is the problem they always have. They usually, I kind of consider them like the FlyQuest. They usually have some, like, I would say average to decent players, but they usually at some point maybe overperform, but some points they just have moments where they look like crap. Like, dude, why are you still playing Fly? Fly is like the pole builder for LCK mid laners. Playing Fly, really?
That's actually really good. That's a
hit-
good analogy.
Get hit like
Fly's the pole belter of the LCK.
he
Yeah,
really
that's-
is, dude. He's not that good. Like he makes worse teams better and good teams worse.
Whack hairstyles though. They're
He
pretty cool.
does. Yeah. He's really willing to experiment, which to be fair, pole belter is boring as shit, but he's like consistent. Fly is like consistently weird. I feel like the coach could just walk up to Fly and be like, "All right, we're gonna try Ivern mid," and he'd just be like, "Yeah,
sure.
let's fuck it. Yeah,
That
let's
sounds
do it."
Brilliant, bro.
Yeah,
Like no questions asked. Yes.
he's like that stoner in the back room. He's like, "I got a great idea." He's like, "All right, hit me."
Like I like
Uh,
hybrid on KT have been playing really well. Like hybrids looked amazing so far. Honestly. But it's crazy
Yeah,
how
Hybrid looked amazing last year as the solo carry on like
Soul
yeah,
Prince.
One Prince.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that. Man, what else do I say about the LCK? Because like every time I watch a series, straight up either you just look at the team, they're playing like they're not even playing bad per se. It's just like a lot of what they're doing right now just isn't really the standard that we know them for, you know.
True.
That's just personally for me.
To be fair, I don't think Korea is the strongest region right now. I think they have the potential to be. Like some of their teams are starting to look really good.
Getting there.
The scariest region though, by far, like right off the bat right now, definitely the LPL.
The LPL, yeah.
What the fuck are they feeding their players?
It's scary,
Bro.
bro. I love watching the game so much, but too bad they're on.
Bro, I love it how they call shit like match of the weeks. The match of the weeks are literally just the better team just completely fisting the other team in their fucking ass. Literally,
There is no. It's like, what are the other? Dude, fucking Fun Plus?
I've been speedrunning.
Oh,
my
bro, like, what
God.
Fun
Like,
Plus
this-
are
this
just straight
rookie
up.
jungler comes in. It's like, oh yeah, they're gonna go downhill. Never mind, they're like 10 times better now. What is going on?
Yeah.
Fun Plus
Yo,
are literally speedrunning
it's a
LPL.
game.
But with the team I wanted to talk about, because the last series was IG versus RNG. Like, what's going on with IG? Like,
No, it's
True.
IG. It's 50-50 coin flip. That's the team.
It is.
literally.
That's the second
their
name.
dude. I don't know what's going on here. Like game one, they look really, really well, and then the next game they just look like crap. Like T1's
Yep.
over here, fucking
Yep.
giving them some syndrome of their own. Hey, we know we suck in games 2 and 3. You guys take it. You guys take that syndrome. It's like the Shy. He's looked okay. People are probably most likely just gonna say he's the best because they don't fucking watch the games. But he's not looked that
I'd
good,
say he looked
honestly.
better than last year. He's looking better than last year.
Bro, he went
Yeah.
0-10 every single game. He went 0
Yeah,
and
last year
10.
was- I'm not sure what was happening on last year, but it's not looking that bad at least.
The team I wanted to give credit to was EDG. They look solid. Flandre finally
Yeah,
has
like-
a good team.
EDG's like, wait a minute, guys. We did have top 1 potential. We just needed to change a little bit up.
Like, what? Here's the question: what the fuck did they actually need to change? Like, again,
Well,
I just
I'm not
don't.
even sure what they did change. Well, they have different coaching staff now, right?
Their play style is like reminiscent of did they just like polish the shit out of everything that they were doing?
I guess bring Lilov back as coach. He's like, oh yeah, guys, this is how we used to play.
They were gonna play Clear Love, and then he was like, "Okay, no, I'm good. We'll just play another guy." They play well.
You know,
We'll just play
that join was more as like we want another coach, but we want him as a backup player as well. So let's just put him in there.
He's gonna be a bangy at the World Championship this year.
To be fair, GG has also been like pulling a blabber on a lot of these LPL junglers. Like it's not
JJ.
fun to watch.
Oh, you're talking about JJ.
I
Yeah,
feel
he looks
bad.
He's pretty.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. That's a strong jungler right there.
I feel bad half the time when I'm watching these games. I'm like, dude, the jungler can't do anything. Like, we're 10 minutes in this game, and I don't see a way for him to like have any sort of impact whatsoever. Like, Jesus. But yeah, LPL. They'd be scary.
Doing pretty good.
EDG
EDG played up against Suning also, and that was, oh my god. Don't watch game 2. If you watch game 1, that's classic EDG. Game 2 is like...
I've been avoiding Suning recently. Like
You've been avoiding them. I've been avoiding Rogue Warriors after that game. I told you I'm never watching them again.
I remember that day. I remember that day vividly, bro.
I'm never
we were
watching
in a
their
call
games
together,
again.
and I was like, you were like, hey, no, we're going to take this win. It's not even funny. I'm like, you sure about that one? Like, it's LPL,
I
bro.
said if they lose, I'm never
pretty
watching
sure they're
going
to lose this game.
I said if they
Like,
lose,
if they
I'm
lose
never
this game,
watching this
Rogue Warriors.
horseshit team again. They were up 10,000 people. The Aphelios had 5 kills, and they threw it. I was like, you deserve to just unplug your keyboards.
What I love
burn
about
your
that one
phones.
is like that was during the time when like Aphelios was still considered to be one of the most broken fucking things on the planet, and just 200 years of 1v5, and they still couldn't close. It's like, oh god.
They have they have Ziv. Ziv. If you guys don't know who Ziv was, he was on AHQ. Yeah, like, bro, they literally just put him on Gragas duty. No more Rogue Warrior games. My brain. I watch a lot of bad League of Legends because I have to watch CLG games, dude. Like, no, Rogue Warrior.
Oh no, dude. Don't bring CLG into this yet.
Dude, CLG versus Rogue Warriors. That'll be a finals one day.
I'm not ready.
CLG versus Rogue Warriors. That'll be a finals one day. I guarantee it.
Oh.
Like, I don't understand. Like, with Suning, just the last team we'll touch on from the LPL, it's not like they're bad. It's just more like, without Sword Art and that veteran shot calling, they really haven't looked that good. But it's not an individual thing, though.
Happen.
Yeah, like, but, I mean, to be fair, people did predict that, though. That's, I mean...
Yeah.
Like,
when as soon as the shot caller goes away, the team just...
Dude, people said Huan Feng made Sword Art. I'm like, you just
no,
stopped...
they didn't.
Dude.
Sword Art made Huang Feng. Like, before Sword Art, Huang Feng was, like, just your average 80 carry.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, like, that, the 2v2 potential of those two, Sword Art is a god. Like, just straight up. He is a phenomenal player, and yes, he is instrumental in the rise of Fang. But like the 2v2 that they were able to put on, they punched so much higher above their weight class than they had any right to.
Yeah,
and yeah, there was something about that duo that even though Fang on his own was just an average 80 carry. Somehow with Sword Art, they just became this fucking monstrosity of a bot lane. And so, yeah. I don't see Son, what is it? Non?
Yeah.
Non? I don't see them reaching that.
He's a non-factor in their games.
Oh, that's mean, man.
What do you mean?
Oh,
SOFM still looks pretty solid. I just think that SOFM, he's getting a little bit figured out right now because he's consistently always playing toward objectives. He's not really too much focused on ganking his laners, which obviously is going to put the team at a deficit, but I hope Suning can bounce back because I think there's a few teams right now, if they lose one more series, they're not going to make playoffs. Like, JDG, fuck.
I want to talk about JDG and top esports real quick.
Talk about JDG. What do you mean? JDG sucks.
You want to talk about disappointment? Okay,
yeah. Well,
it's literally like
esports,
it's literally like what
2019.
Yep. Oh god, dude.
No,
it's
dude.
It's like top esports 2019, and Knight is like, what's going on? My team's falling apart around me. I can't hold this together. No, what is going on?
That is, yeah.
Dude, I don't...
JDG and Top,
JDG and Top, two teams just straight up shit in the bed right now. Dude, I don't know what the fuck's up with them.
Supposed to be the best top player in the region? Like, what's going on?
Well,
like,
they were supposed to...
jungler in the region, technically, and
well,
JDG is
this is my thing. I knew they weren't going to look as... I figured they would look good with Shie, right? But they played Shie one
Yeah.
game. That dude was just playing Farm Simulator, just sitting in mid lane as his team fell apart. Okay, his brain doesn't work. His brain is just not there. And then they were supposed to play Mystic too, but he's not played yet. So your upgrades aren't playing, and the team you have right now is also not doing good. Like they're all just not good. Like, and it's also people say it's not their meta. To be fair, they weren't really amazing anyway. They were never really stand out in their playstyle where they like reinvented the game. They were just really good to average players. And Kanavi sucks, dude. Kanavi is trash.
Kanavi was supposed to be the best jungle in the world.
Yeah. People were literally just hyping the shit out of him, and
now we're just getting disappointment, bro. I'm just getting disappointment.
Although, honestly, like, I'm disappointed from JDG because they're not living up to the hype that was there. I'm just straight disappointed in top esports because, like, how are you this shit with 369, Karsa, and Knight on your team? How?
I was gonna say this before, but in my comment section when I made a video about the LPL, this guy just kept going off about the support, and as a joke, I said, "This new support's gonna ruin the team." And well,
Fodic or
look how where we've come here. The new support seems to ruin the team.
You mean Fodic, right? Or is it Fodic or Podic?
I don't know.
Anyways,
know. Oh, yeah.
And especially in this meta, like where supports are like one of, if not the most important role right now outside of jungler. Yeah, Rel is fucked. I love it. God, playing with a Rel in bot lane is my favorite thing right now.
Like, from the very first series, you can already tell if a team's going to start doing bad. If people watch the top esports series versus Suning in the very first week of the LPL 2021 Spring Split, you could tell top esports were playing like shit. Bro, they played like straight up trash. And like seeing them now as I was watching their games, no, this team is bad, man. Like, it's crazy how you could have
changed.
You could have a team of Karsa and Knight and 369 and you could suck. Well, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, 369 can barely play Renekton.
Karsa literally just needs to play around top and mid and they win, and yet somehow some way their bot lane will still lose them the game. Somehow.
Jackie Love. People in the YouTube chat were calling him Jackie Throw.
I won't even start on Jackie Love. Like, Jackie is disappointing me more than Lost did. and that's a lot of disappointment.
It's a username gap. It's a username gap.
Jackie Love versus Lost. Yeah, that's true. Jackie, I'm supposed to love. Lost, I already knew he was going to.
But there is one surprise. Naguri has perfectly slanted into FPX, which is good. That's a nice thing to have, I guess.
Yes.
LWX, Chris, Doinby, and their new jungler, Bo. He's pretty solid, actually. Really? He's good.
Yeah. Amazing, bro.
So they lost TN. And I'm going to be honest here. I was going to be honest here.
Where did Bo come from?
He came from E-Star Academy.
That's crazy.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Played like half a year of E-Star Academy. That's all. That's his career.
He was like, get me out of this dumpster fire of this org and get me on a
And then FX is like, you're actually pretty good.
But like, I'm gonna be honest here. Was Tian really that good even before he took his break? He didn't really stand out to me anyway, even before he took his break.
Tian was having issues. Like he was succumbing to pressure. And that's probably one of the biggest issues because he is a really good jungler, but he wasn't. But just he couldn't play well on stage, and he needed to take a break.
Oh, because people have to factor in this, like the LPL, unlike LCK, LEC, and LCS, they play on stage. And I'm telling you guys right now, I would 100%. I would say bet on this. Bet my bitcoins. Team Liquid will look pretty awful on stage to a certain extent. Maybe
Liquid.
I'm just fucking around with you guys. They're gonna look fucking amazing going back on stage. No, I was gonna say TSM. People think TSM look bad right now. I think TSM will look worse on stage.
Oh, dude.
Stage changes a lot of things.
It does.
I think Team Bomb would look better on stage.
I think.
I think you're right.
No, actually, to be honest,
they've always shown that they've played better on stage.
There's something about like people talk about stage fright, but there's certain players where when they get on stage, they just fucking We saw it in so back in the StarCraft days, we're gonna take a trip down memory lane. there was a player, a little known player known as Huck, who people knew were amazing, but like when he showed up on stage, and especially versus like Idra and a few other people, it was completely different. Huck just playing online and like watching him stream and stuff versus Huck on stage was just mind-blowingly different. So yeah, 100% agree with you, Blue.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready.
For
let's jump in the fucking trash bin.
There is one NA team that I want to talk about in particular.
Okay,
Blue, we know you're a closet CLG fan. Just admit it.
No,
now.
It's Immortals. I want to know what your thoughts on Immortals are, because what I saw was very surprising.
Like surprising good or surprising bad?
Surprising good. Surprising
okay. Sorry, just gotta check, man. Like, we bring our caliber down to talk about NA.
Yeah. That's
all right. That's usually like what I have to do. Like, because when you watch NA games, you're just like, wait a minute. There's you can already tell by watching it. In drafting phase, something's wrong compared to the other better regions. Like, guys, we're telling you, if you've been watching for so long, people are probably factoring in, you guys are just shitting on the NA region. You still want them to do well. No, if you actually have brains, you'll understand what we're saying. But, I digress.
No, in what region do you give away Renekton, Talia, and what was it? Kaisa? No, Pantheon, Renekton, and Talia, and still leave up Kaisa and Yone was the only champion. Oh, I'm not getting into that. Okay, Immortals. Immortals have also so Immortals are looking good, but they've also only faced off against Cloud9 as their I would say their only real challenge so far. Yes, they had the upset versus Team Liquid.
Yeah, that was
I put that more on Team Liquid losing and Immortals playing well. Like, Immortals played well, don't get me wrong. You have to play well to win. But
I'll show you my solo queue games to prove that wrong.
Individual plays I saw was like Revenge of the solo kill and Raze and Isles bot lane. They just played so beautifully, like, compared to what I expected. I put Immortals at the bottom of my list, close.
No, you should, because later on during this week they also played really shitty. Later, after that TL game, it was all rainbows and sunshine, butterflies in the sky. Next day, well, they look like
team's potential is so much higher than I thought it was. Like their peak, if they can reach it, is
lower really than exciting. It's probably just about as low as FlyQuest.
No, no, I'm going to agree with Blue here, because Revenge, I always treated Revenge as like this big question mark. Because I kind of feel like he and Viper, if y'all remember Viper, kind of similar, minus the fact that Revenge can actually play more than 2 champions. So,
Isles is like the best support in our region in OC.
Sorry, which?
Isles was
Isle,
support in OC.
That is true.
Isles and Raze were a pretty good bot lane for Legacy.
Raze was pretty good. I wouldn't say he's the best AD carry to come out of OC, but he's probably in the top 5.
Yeah.
It's that
and Insanity is Xerxes. Okay, so I could see the team actually making a bit of a run for it. Not for first place, but potentially for third place.
I don't think
third, maybe fourth place. I could see them potentially if a few things happens. One, Revenge plays a little more consistently. Now, granted, he did get bullied to fucking high hell in the last games. Like, I feel like after he kind of shit on Alfari, other teams were like, okay,
like, oh shit, camp time.
We can't let this happen again.
Yeah.
And so I think if Xerxes is able to protect his top lane a little bit better, and then also if Insanity just plays safe, nothing crazy, and their bot lane is at least able to, start to unlock a little bit of carry potential. I think they have potential there. Surprising nobody, the team that has 0 potential and continues to have 0 potential. CLG.
Let's just get the elephant out of the room, the tiger out of the cage.
Kick this team out of the league soon. Like, they come last every time. Like, isn't it time finally? We finally give them their.
What's really funny about CLG is that Griffin /Wiggly /Big Inter is literally he was basically gifted a starting spot because Broxa is just not able to enter in right now because of his visa issues, and he's still underperforming. This dude was literally gifted a grace of the actual gods, and literally he's still underperforming. I just don't know anymore. He's just not good. Just literally, they might as well just they might as well play their academy
so many
jungler.
Chances.
Just literally play their academy jungler.
Try it out.
Just
Honestly,
you might as well
roster. Just play your entire academy roster. You want to get better results out of that.
Okay, so I'll say this: Wild Turtle is doing way better than he has any right to. Wild Turtle should not be competitive against Lost. Wild Turtle should not be competitive versus any
FBI.
Versus any name ADC versus FBI versus Lost. It doesn't matter. You should not be seeing Wild Turtle equaling them and making the game scary. That should not be happening. So, you know what? I'll give them credit there. Finn, you know what? I'm not even going to touch on that. we talked about this already.
We knew it was going to happen.
The crowd. We knew it was going to happen. Anyone who's surprised that Finn enters the team and versus TSM goes like, oh god.
So their game against TSM and their game against 100 Thieves, they actually had a decent proactive early game. The issue here is that they threw it, and you're thinking to yourself, they theoretically should be 2-1 right now, but obviously that didn't happen because in their TSM game, which was weirdly the match of the week. No, that had to go to EG versus 100 Thieves. That was definitely a better match. Because
you dare say CLG TSM match of the week.
Because we'll touch on TSM later for you TSM fans out there. Oh my god, you guys don't know what you're talking about. TSM's going to be top 3 because Hooney's going to magically carry us, and I have Bjergsen's dick down my throat. Shut the fuck up.
Okay. No, we're not starting on that right now because they're...
But overall for CLG, they did have a proactive early game to a point where you could see it working. I do think at some point their highest thing is going to be 8th. I think they'll be better than Dig and IMT, but that's a stretch in the freaking dark right now, Yeah. But that's just me.
And
personally.
to be fair, like, Dig doesn't look as bad as I was originally giving them. I honestly had less faith in Dig than I did in CLG because I saw this roster and I went, you know what? It's great that you're giving new talent a chance, but you also can't just like grab a shit ton of players that like kind of look good and cram them together on a team and just pray that it works. Especially when they picked up Afromu. I thought that was going to be like the fucking nail in the coffin for the team. And somehow they have the same record. Now, granted, of course, they've only played 3 games, but still, somehow they've won a game.
They've won a game.
And it's better than last year, dude. They started it's better than summer of last year because they were
this year the start matters because there's only one big split.
To be fair, there's one big split because it counts as your record. So if Dig literally win 8 wins, they'll be in a much better position than they were last year. Oh my god. But for Dig and Toss right now, I just don't think Sleagle and Fake Out are good. I just don't think they're that good, honestly. Dardoch has to basically become a NA version of self-made to carry the team.
Yeah, I don't like Dardoch. I don't know what the hype was last year, but
no.
I just don't think that who's our player? Neo, he's okay. He's worse than Wild Turtle. Afromu's pretty solid. Afromu was still pretty solid after having that slump he had for a little bit there. He's looked solid. Dardoch has to basically pick picks like Rengar for them to win. And I think he's literally just picking it to look good rather than making his team get better.
True.
But what else is he gonna do though? Pick out a factor in, because I know this argument was brought up on Twitter. What else is he gonna do though? His lanes are auto losing by just picking champions in the fucking draft.
Yeah,
bro.
Pick a champion.
They're picking a champion. Yeah. They're learning the game, walking to lane, and losing. How do you fix that? Yeah. What's going on? I can't blame him, but I can't also praise him either.
100 Thieves literally tried out Senna Tom Kench because it was a free lane. They weren't gonna get punished for it. No, I will say this. A little too early for me to say anything about the mid-tier teams like Dig and Toss, FlyQuest, Golden Guardians, Immortals, and TSM. It's a little bit too early for me to just except for TSM. I will always be down to condemn TSM.
Actually,
But
speaking of TSM, yeah, continue.
The top of the table teams, though, without a shadow of a doubt, the strongest team in all of their games has been C9.
Yeah,
and that shouldn't surprise anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It really shouldn't.
I think the lock-in tournament was good for them. The lock-in tournament for them was really good for them. Blabber stood out a lot this week. Perks is still being Perks.
Blabber was gonna be bad. Like everyone started dissing him after the lock-in.
Blabber fucking just
bro. Like,
dude, I feel like Blabber just fucking like man mode, Chad mode, like be Hyper X beast moded. I don't even know how to describe exactly. It felt like watching like Dragon Ball Z and watching Goku go Super Saiyan for the first time in every one of these games. He's just taken over. And his like Cloud9 is more than happy to just be like, "Oh, Blabber, you're ahead."
Have you seen Dragon Ball Super?
Yeah.
Have you seen Dragon Ball Super? Remember the part where Goku Black reveals that he killed the Chi-Chi and Goten in the past? And Goku just like goes insane. I feel like that's what Blabber had to do. Like Blabber's actually been playing amazing. To be fair, I like how he changed his own pathing up because he realized that Perks is not going to just get gapped by any mid laner. He might not win the mid lane, but he's not going to get gapped either. Sven and Vulcan are just gods in the bot lane. So all he has to do is just path up top lane, give Fudge a helping hand while still playing his own game and win, which is perfectly fine.
He literally realized Cloud9 only needs two things. One, make sure that Perks isn't getting 1v9 because apparently like Perks is a retard magnet in the mid lane where like every single team is just like, we gotta kill Perks, we gotta kill he shit talk us, he said that he was gonna we gotta kill him.
It's like the Faker syndrome, like when Faker was like when T1 was very dominating, everyone's goal was just to kill Faker. But it's like just using all your resources to kill Faker won't really do anything. It's not like he gets affected by it anyway.
Yeah, so you just protect mid lane. And then every single first blood was just Fudge baits the enemy top laner in. Blabber shows up. They kill him for first blood. Rinse, repeat. Cloud9 just fucking stomped.
Really solid.
100 Thieves. 100 Thieves, pretty fucking good. Now, granted, they were the only competitive match they had was versus EG.
Which was pretty close. That could have went either way, honestly.
Yeah, that was. So, 100 Thieves looking good, but to be fair, on the other flip side of the table, EG and Team Liquid, which are anyone who says that EG and Team Liquid are not the other two top teams, I'm sorry, you're just wrong. Like
Team Liquid looked it's hard to say, like they looked kind of shaky in some of the games they had.
I still feel like we're seeing a bit of synergy issues with them trying to figure out which lane they predominantly want to play through. Because with Worlds, they were playing entirely through bot side. Tactical was their carry in every single game. And so Santorian is like trying to switch out of this mid jungle synergy and trying to play a little bit more around, a little less around Jensen and a little more around Alfari and tactical. No offense to Jensen, it's just like it's the same thing as Perks. Nobody in NA is going to gap Jensen. It's not going to happen. He'll go even at worst. And so you don't need to play around him. You don't need to worry about making sure that Jensen is set up to succeed. No, instead you focus on your slightly more volatile lanes. Tactical and Alfari have proven that they can take over games and 1v5 on their own as well. So, buffing that out, playing to the strengths, it's a good look. Evil Geniuses, I put them as the sleeper team, and I'm really glad I did because holy shit, Impact and Svenskeren.
Yeah. I think they're a really strong team. I think a lot of people were just so sleeping on this team. They have such good players on their team. A lot of people were like, no.
Ignar,
like,
Deftly, Jizuke, Svenskeren.
My only
Impact.
question mark was Deftly. My only question mark was Deftly, but I had to realize that in Academy he was playing with Matt, and Matt's just a phoning it in fucking one-trick Bard player, and I was like, okay, no, I can't blame Deftly for that. And they got Impact and Svenskeren, and you also have to factor in now, I think they're giving Impact tools to carry, because to be fair, on Team Liquid, like they realized he couldn't play carries effectively enough to a point where like you could draft for it. But on this team, they have full confidence in him to play carries because they've seen him do it before. Since Garen is arguably a top 3 jungler too, so they have a really nice top side. Jizuke's not been just running it down like a lot of people have been predicting too.
Jizuke has been pretty good, honestly. Like
Ignar is what in the same caliber of support as like Huhi, which is fine. Top 4 support, which is fine. They have a really strong roster. I had to really think about it. And I was like, wait a minute, why do I have EG lower than TSM? That would make no sense, you know. But
like realistically, Svenskeren better than Spica, Impact more consistent than Huni, Jizuke at least, you know, even with Power of Evil. I would say at this point, maybe PoE like Super Saiyans into the future, but who knows? Definitely an upgrade from Lost. If Lost continues playing as he is, yeah, no. And so realistically, the only like place that you could put a gap would be Sword Art and Ignar. But Sword Art, classic TSM, they're just, hey, let's get a world-class support and shot caller and then ignore him.
Or
that's the strategy.
Since Trackhawk wants to talk about TSM, it's his favorite team of all time.
I want to talk about Huni for a second, though.
Okay, yeah. So TSM have had a pretty awful week so far.
Yeah, they have. But wait, I want to hear what Blue has to say about Huni. Let's hear this
TSM thing where they're showing off how they lose and how it's like brilliant or whatever on their YouTube. I don't know, but I heard Huni say the stupidest thing. He says he'd rather win scrim matches and lose on stage than win on stage and lose scrim matches.
What?
How does that make sense?
What?
He'd rather lose on stage than in scrims. What?
But the point of winning in scrims is to translate that to the stage so you can win stage games.
But yeah, so you'd rather lose all your scrim matches and then win all your stage matches than win all your scrim matches and lose all your stage matches.
Does Huni have dyslexia? Is this what's happening?
That's what he said. He was having an argument with Power of Evil. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand. Like, yeah, just continue. I just want to just put that out there. Like, I don't know what's going on, but
it would make sense because then if he has dyslexia, he might think that he's on the other team and he's losing to try and make sure that TSM wins.
I don't know. But yeah, continue on with your whatever you want to say about TSM.
All right.
I just put that one out there.
It was just the fact that like they looked really bad in their first 2 losses, and then against CLG, they won in a very, very unconvincing way for CLG. CLG literally had to take their kitchen sink, throw it outside, and light their house on fire for TSM to win. Which is like you just can't bank on that. And I understand, like it's week 1. People are going to overreact. But you can clearly see in the game they're not playing good. Like, their only good players are Power of Evil and Sword Art. Lost is just gapped by every fucking ADC there is, because username and play-wise. Spica, TSM has never really set up their jungler for success anyway. And Huni is just as bad as I thought it was going to be. So, I mean...
They're also just like, it's very clear, they have no fucking idea how they're supposed to play.
Yeah.
Like, at all. Everyone is looking at them and like, it's really not that hard to understand. You brought in a world-class support and shot caller, so you listen to him, you play through your bot side predominantly. You also have Power of Evil in the mid lane. Elemental Dragon stacking is a big thing right now, so you can focus predominantly on team fighting. And, you know, having objective control, which Spica is good at. So it's like, and then you have Huni being the X factor. You leave Huni on the top lane. He can 1v1 to his heart's content. You throw a couple of wards up there every few minutes to make sure that he doesn't get 3v1 dove every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult to figure out. And yet they're trying to fucking reinvent the wheel or like
TSM.
reinvent TSM when it's like I'm gonna be honest, I think it's a coaching thing. I honestly
BX is not a coach.
I do. I 100%. As soon as I heard Bjergsen was gonna be head coach, I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. You should really be like putting him on academy or like, you know, giving him some time, because he has a very set way of playing the game that he thinks is correct. Problem. Power of Evil isn't Bjergsen.
Yeah.
And he's never going to be Bjergsen. Nobody is going to be Bjergsen. So the way that they were playing won't ever work again.
Yeah.
My thing is also is that people just automatically assume that Bjergsen was going to be a good head coach. What volition?
We've never seen him coach before. How can we think he's going to be good?
People on TSM Reddit actually thought that Huni was going to just be magically so much better because he had that one standout series last year on EG.
It's the stupidest bias ever.
Like this bias is retarded because they're like,
look at his history. It's like, no, he's not. And then they're like, yeah. And it's like, what?
Like, Huni had one standout series on EG when they beat 100 Thieves last year. I was like, okay, like that happens. Like, I have standout series where I look really good, but that doesn't mean that you take that for what it was. That's automatically always him. No, he's not. He just wasn't that good. And then you have to factor in Spica. He looked good at Worlds, but that's not saying much. The whole team ran it down. So you factor in, you have an average jungler, and I would say below average top laner. And if you have Power of Evil, you pretty much dedicate your style to playing towards Power of Evil because that's just why you would pick Power of Evil. That's literally that's just having another version of Bjergsen then. Except your playstyle is all in on Power of Evil. But to be fair, I personally think if you're going to be a Power of Evil team, you should have Ignar over Sword Art, which is what you should have gotten. But then again, they probably did think Ignar was that good. If Power of Evil knows that Ignar's going to play towards him, he should have honestly asked for Ignar, but, that's things I can't judge now.
They went for carry potential in every single lane, and now they're just trying to conform it to the original TSM style, which is, okay, we've got, long-term carry potential. We've got a double lift. We've got whoever, Wild Turtle, however many years back. We've got the carry potential in the bot lane in the long term. They'll hit 3 items pretty consistently, and by that point, they can become a force unto themselves. We've got primary care potential in the mid lane, and we don't give a fuck about top lane. We're going to just leave them on an island, just let them do whatever they want. They're not doing anything to actually convince me that the team's even going to synergize in the future. I was watching one of their games. Sword Art is a madman at covering for TSM, and it feels like he's just nonstop having to cover for so many stupid moments. And Huni, every time I watch him, I'm like, the dude wants to make plays and go in, and TSM is like, no, hold back, okay, hold, and then the moment's gone, and they're like, all right, now we can go. Power of Evil is finally here, or whatever. Stupid asinine play they have planned for this week.
Even looking, I'm trying to predict the future. I just don't think this is going to be a good year for TSM. This is just not the roster for that. It's just not a good roster. I know I have TSM fans on the channel. I'm not being that guy. I just don't think the roster is that good, and I don't think their ceiling is that high. But I do think, on the bright side, they could be competitive with EG spot and maybe in 4th place. I don't think you're going to get to a top 3, 2nd or 1st place spot. If they can fix some of their mid-game issues, I think they could take on EG, but I really think that's going to be the highest you're going to be able to do. And who knows? Hey,
TSM is a worse version of FlyQuest. Straight up. You've got a
better mid
Huni is basically Licorice in 5 or 10 years or however long it takes Licorice's wrist to collapse under. Josadata, to be honest, FlyQuest is a better version of TSM.
Oh my god, they won the head-to-head. They won the head-to-head though.
They won the head-to-head.
But they do have a worse, arguably, I think they have a worse mid and support because I don't think that Palafox and Diamond are that good. Honestly.
Palafox and Diamond are about the only parts that I would say win out. Everything else, it's
pretty
Spica versus
Jose
Diodo.
It's pretty even, honestly.
Jose Gododo. Licorice versus Huni. It's EG is fucking stacked, man. Spica versus Fenskarin. Jizuke at least goes even with Power of Evil. Definitely an Ignar versus Lost and Sword Art. It's and then Impact versus Huni. I'm sorry, TSM fans. Jesus Christ, what is your org doing?
I don't even know. Hey, it was the automatic Bjergsen bias. Yeah, Bjergsen's gonna coach us to a championship. Nope. We'll also need some good players to do that. It's also a combination of having a good coaching staff, and you also have to have good players too. It's just how those things kind of work, you know? But what's the other team we haven't talked about? Oh, FlyQuest. They look pretty solid. I don't have, like, they're probably what most of us predicted, 6th place. Licorice is still solid. Josedodo's pretty solid. Palafox sucks. Diamond sucks. And Johnson's good. That's pretty much it.
Palafox is, actually, I'm going to blow your guys' mind for a second. I'm just going to open up my...
Palafox is better than Perks.
Palafox is not better than Perks, no. But, okay, so Palafox, so RGS, Jizuke, Demonte, and Perks are all definitely better. However, Power of Evil and Saligo were both rated worse than Palafox. Palafox is, believe it or not, currently a top 5 contender for mid laner, as opposed to
there's something wrong with that. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, Palafox isn't that bad. It's like I'm just gonna say this: FlyQuest will take 6th or 5th. They'll take 5th if stars fucking align and they're able to like properly play as a team. Because I don't see any other roster that can realistically go against them, except for maybe Immortals and TSM. But there's just so many question marks around Immortals still, if they can actually start to unlock a little bit of their potential. And TSM, if they get their collective heads out of Bjergsen's ass, I don't know.
Or in his ass.
Or in his... Do you really want to be... You know what? I won't ask that. I won't ask that. We know that you want to.
Bjergsen's amazing. He's good looking. I've met him before.
I have a shot at Faker, but...
You have a shot at Faker?
A shot at Faker. Okay.
Ooh.
If you go to LCK...
No, I said a shrine.
Oh!
you have a shrine of Faker. Yeah.
A shrine of Faker.
But not the Swag King here. No, he has a shrine of Bjergsen, bro.
He has a shrine of...
A shrine of Perks. That's different. I have standards. I have players that.
Sorry.
I have players that done well internationally. Just kidding.
God. Okay.
Hey, I pray to Perks every day, but that's pretty much it. We covered pretty much every single thing. Some guys probably cover more in the LEC. No, it's just G2 and Fnatic. Just stop. Yeah, there's Rogue, but just stop.
If Rogues continues, we'll cover more. Like, okay, if they ever have more than 2 teams worth looking at, we'll talk more about Europe. But as it stands, they have 2 teams worth looking at.
It's always the same thing. It's like that one other team outside of G2 and Fnatic does look good, but how long is that going to last? Origin did the same thing until Origin just collapsed.
And even then, it's just a question in Europe. Who will take 2nd place to G2? It's...
But that's pretty much it. TSM, I don't know what the roster's going to do. Someone's like, bring in Cody Sun and bring in Hanser. That would probably make their team better, honestly.
Yeah. Why isn't Cody Sun there?
Lost. They're lost, dude.
They're lost.
But that's pretty much it. Anything else you guys want to say before we head out?
TSM makes me drink.
Oh, okay.
T1 makes me hard, right?
Yeah, dude, that's the one. Dude, T1's gonna win the split. It's gonna happen. Well, they may not win the split, but they're gonna win
the world championship. They're gonna win
finals.
Yeah.
They're gonna win in quarterfinals.
They're gonna make it to MSI. That's what I'm trying to say.
They're gonna win in quarterfinals.
T1's gonna make it to finals, and then Bengi's gonna sub into.
No.
I don't know. All right.
That's it, guys. See you guys later.
Let's go.
For the LCS 2021 Spring Split, thoughts and opinions. Me and Trackhawk will do that for Sundays, so we're going to skip off this week because, well, we already talked about it in this episode right here. But yeah, see you guys later. Goodbye. I'm going to go probably watch...
subscribe to Blue Plays.
Subscribe to that guy who doesn't post any videos.
Oh!
You
Boof.
Make videos, Blue. Oh my god.
I do.
So I'm
played yourself.
I'm going to go watch some Asa Akira videos. And Thank you to Chevy and X Videos for sponsoring this episode.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You got sponsors now?
Yeah,
Oh,
we gotta get
dream
No, wannabe sponsors.
wannabe sponsor.
Got
That's
a Chevy sponsor and X Videos or Pornhub.
X
Either
video.
X-
Pornhub.
Pornhub is a better sponsor. Probably.
That's a way better sponsor.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah.
We have to start the episode like the intro just has to be X Videos and Pornhub just for this only.
No, you gotta get a drum set. You gotta get the.
All right, guys. Peace. See you guys later. Goodbye. I am signing out. I'll see you guys next week. See you guys on Monday. Oh, Monday is the G2 FanCast. 5:30 p.m. PST.
G2 FanCast. Oh, I can't.
Wait, what? G2 FanCast?
G2 FanCast. Mondays at 5:30 p.m. PST. And I will definitely.
All right.
It's all right, guys. Peace. Have a good day. Have a good weekend.
Boy, yeah.